Check Our Privilege is the most poignant, meaningful song I've ever written. It's on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. I mean, I know you've seen that it's there, but if you haven't listened to it, please do because the message, I think at least, is powerful and possibly a catalyst for a change in perspective if you value it highly enough. If you're really so against audio consuming it, I can just tell you that it's about the stigma against white privilege and how everybody's problems matter, at least to them, so you can't say we don't have any just because other people's might be worse. Struggles aren't a competition. It's not even written towards people of other races, because the fact of the matter is that white privilege is most prominently a white spread idea. The song is for all you whiteys out there who shoulder the guilt of your entire race for some reason to a point where you refuse to acknowledge your own troubles. Black people in America have it so hard. How dare I even think about the looming bankruptcy about to be caused by my crushing student debt? My little 4-year-old sister was just the victim of a hit and run, but unarmed black teenagers get shot all the time, so I shouldn't even be allowed to grieve. Hell, fuck having a funeral, that's too self-indulgent. Let's just dump her body by the side of the road and go back to caring about things that matter, namely other people's kids dying. Black people don't want that for you. But some white people absolutely do want that for you. I saw a Tinder profile of a white college girl, and one of her listed hobbies was going around and making sure everyone checks their privilege. I will fucking torture you. I will use a menagerie of precisely sharp implements to maim you just below the threshold where your body gives up on being alive, but of course I couldn't kill you before making sure you checked your privilege. Is it still high in that moment? Are you gonna sputter at me in between fits of coughing blood that the average lower middle class African American citizen has more pressing concerns for you to empathize with? At what point have you lost too much blood to maintain a bleeding heart? I'll find it. But this is the issue, because even in defending my point, I'm forced to think of problems as a competition in order to articulate the absurdity from the other side. It's this supremely tenacious thinking that needs to quit. Your problems may be worse than my problems, but they don't affect my problems, and my skin tone definitely doesn't negate my problems. I mean, you can choose to not care about my problems, great. I'd be happy not to give a shit about yours either, but I acknowledge them. I hear about a police brutality story and think, yeah, that seems to be happening more lately. Then I go about my day. I don't go, so what? This worst thing happened last week, like the privilege checkers do. There, I've overmade my point. Now I'm gonna move on. I got demoted in an entry-level job. You believe that? Because I actually can, it sounds like me. I was doing food prep all wrong and slow, so now I just do dishes. It's only 30% my fault, though. When your trainer speaks broken English, some things get lost in translation. I used to work Sundays alone, and so Saturdays he would put up the list of what I needed to make that day. One time he wrote sliced chicken, only slice was spelled S-L-A-I-S because immigration is a flawless principle. I've seen him slice chicken before, like trimming the fat off and putting them in the tub, so I do that. The following Tuesday he comes up to me like, you know sliced chicken, and I go, I yes sliced chicken, like I'm arguing culinary history with Tarzan, and he says, no, you prep chicken. And I'm like, what are you tacoing about? Look, I'm not worried about what I put in this video in regard to my job security, because frankly, if this video got me fired, that would be terrific. I see stories of people getting fired over like Facebook posts and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be me. I mean, that's the way to go out, speaking your mind and asserting your emotional dominance. By the way, if I say racist things when speaking about an individual of that race, I mean those things only towards that person, because I can compartmentalize my stereotypes to apply to specific solo targets. That's just how talentedly bigoted I am. Apparently what I did was prepping the chicken, even though I was slicing the fat off it, and slicing the chicken is a whole other thing, even though I know what that whole other thing is, and it in no way involves slicing. So basically, fucking bullshit. You're gonna talk to the manager about my supposed ineptitude when A, you only inform me of my mistakes days after the fact, something you have to do because your idea of proper tutelage is, hey, do that brand new thing unsupervised later. B, you're about as well-spoken as Sofia Vergara getting her wisdom teeth pulled. And C, fucking bullshit. I might not care terribly about my job, but getting my hours cut in half leaves a worse taste in my mouth than the bland lettuce you never taught me to prepare. And it's all gonna stand, because I'm not prone to confrontation in real life. I'll never defend myself or explain my side of things in the moment. That's why I need this series to vent, to be able to listen back to a version of my personality that doesn't take any shit, and imagine it transferred to the physical plane where it would positively wreak glorious havoc on the world. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.